Greetings, Weirdlings. I'm Mary the Knit. Why? I'm Mary the Knitting Dev, and we're gonna go on an adventure. In this two-player game, you will be building capital to go on expeditions across the world into awesome archaeological sites. This game is a great introduction to just general hobby board games. Also, if you have somebody that's not quite into board games, it's just another version of Rummy. It's very, very, very much like Rummy. At the very beginning of the game, you will be dealt a hand of 8 cards. Those 8 cards will include multiple expedition types, which are your colors, numbers, which are the value of your expedition, so how well your adventure is, and handshake cards, which is the investment that you put into the expedition to begin with. On your turn, you will either choose to play a card from your hand and put it down in a column of the expedition, or you will choose to discard a card into the corresponding discard pile. At the end of your turn, you will draw either from the discard pile or from the deck of cards. When you play a card, you're going to play a card along the expedition trail. That means red cards are going to be played in the red column, green cards are going to be played in the green column, so on and so forth. When you play a number card, you must play the number cards in increasing numerical order, which means you start at 2 and you go up to 10. The moment you skip a number, so let's say you place the 9 card down on the 2, not a good plan. At that point, you cannot put anything lower than a 9 down in your column. At the end of the game, you will score each column separately. The score will be the total value of the column minus 20 for the expedition times however many investment handshakes you put in. Those investment handshakes, just think of them as you talking to your investors and say, hey, I'll get you the thing from the Tomb of Doom, and you don't happen to do it, or you do and it's not as valuable as you think it is. The thing about handshakes is they have to be played before your numeric cards, and they can hurt you. You can end up with a high negative score, which I guess is a really low score. You will not get hit with the negative 20 for the expedition cost if you do not go down a column, which means if you think that you're not gonna make it on a column, then don't. Toss all those cards. Don't go down yellow track. Yellow track sucks. Egypt doesn't need you. The game ends whenever the last card is drawn from the deck. At that point, game's over. You'll score your points, and then you will move on to the next round. In general, Lost Cities can be played on a one-off round, because it's a rummy mechanic, it's usually good to play 2 or 3 rounds to even off the scores. Here's my top 3 strategy tips. 1, don't overinvest. Just don't. Don't sit there and put down all the investment and then realize you've got no other white cards in your hand. Not a good plan. Just don't do it. If you do this, you will end up with a negative score, a really big negative score, like a negative 40 score right now. It's happening. I'm making minus 20 points times 2, no, minus 60. Bad plan. Don't do it. Tip number 2, pay attention to what your partner is discarding. If they are putting down a lot of greens, that means they don't think they can make it. But if you have the ability to pick it up out of the discard pile. Tip number 3, if you're down and out and you're not quite making the points you need to make, draw from the discard pile, not from the top of the deck. Don't make the deck go by faster. The game will end quicker. Vice versa if you're winning. If you're winning, draw from the top of the deck. Make the game go by quicker, because it's a race for time as much as it is just a race for points. Bonus tip, if you get 8 cards in a column, you get 20 points to your final score. Sure, it's not gonna negate the negative 60 you somehow ended up with, but extra 20 points could help you if you messed up one of your other columns. So that's Lost Cities. Have you played the game? Do you enjoy it? I love this game. It's one of my favorites to play. What board games do you want to see me do next? Comment down below, let me know so I can do the things that you want to see. We do this every week. And then like, share, subscribe, do the things that are so cool to do. See you next week. Bye.